to part 4 of this amazing video series. If you haven't watched part 1, part 2, part 3, click this link up here so that you can start from where it's supposed to be, so that you don't have to miss any of these amazing video series. So today we are going to learn how to teach your child the art of learning from their mistakes. And mistakes don't really define us, but they do teach us. So here is how to turn slip ups, or this is how to turn mistakes into confidence boosters instantly. And this is how you're going to learn how to do this, so that you can help your child to learn from their mistakes and boost their confidence instantly, or into such a really great high height. For those who are watching me for the first time, my name is Nastari. I'm a mom also, and these things that I'm teaching you also from my own experience from raising my children, and also from trainings that I've had. If you want these notes, so that they can act as a go-to guide whenever you want to learn how to acknowledge fears, to praise your children, how to boost their confidence in a better way, check the link in the video description so that you can get these notes. If you want a live interactive session where you can come in, ask questions, be in a community of like-minded parents like you, the link is also in the video description. We normally do have this amazing course that teaches this in an in-depth way and in a step-by-step way. Mistakes are a natural part of life, and learning how to handle them with resilience is essential for building confidence. So teaching kids that mistakes are opportunities to grow rather than reasons to feel bad is an invaluable lesson. So you need to help them learn that mistakes, so you need to teach them that mistakes are opportunities for them to grow, but they are not opportunities, or they are not reasons to make them feel bad about themselves, because a lot of us tend to feel bad about making mistakes, and we don't want to do that. We want to undo this really bad thing that have been programmed in us, so that we can raise better children than we are as parents. So to start, the very first thing that you need to do, encourage your child to view mistakes as learning moments. So encourage them to view mistakes as learning moments, because honestly speaking, we cannot learn without making mistakes. Let's say they forgot maybe their homework or didn't perform well on a test. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, maybe you can ask something like, what could we do differently next time? Or how can I support you better in this subject so that you can do better? Or maybe if they did the dishes so badly, can you take your time instead of lashing out at them, and ask them, how can I help you to wash the dishes better, or what went wrong, so that you can correct it. So by so doing, they're going to learn from their mistakes, and they're going to do it better next time. So this question actually helps them to shift their focus from feeling bad to thinking about solutions. So for example, about the math test, if they tell you that maybe the teacher was not explaining the concepts really well, then the child that you are gonna find a solution to this, and they're gonna feel really good about trying something new to better their grades. So it is also important to reframe mistakes as normal experiences. And I'm really sorry if you can hear some noise from the background. And I know my neighbor is building something amazing out there. So it is also important to reframe mistakes as normal experiences. So share stories of your own past mistakes and what you learned from them. So for example, there's this time that my daughter had developed this attitude towards math, and her grades had started coming down drastically. She used to get maybe around 90s, and she had dropped to around 50s. And I remembered when I was in high school, I had developed this attitude towards math. So our math teacher had died, and we had a replacement, and this replacement was really tough. And because she was so tough, and like our previous teacher, I had developed this really bad attitude about math. And as a result, I got a really low grade in math, which affected even my future career choice, because I wanted to be a doctor, but I couldn't. I didn't make it. So I had to become a nurse, and I had to teach her from this, how this attitude, how developing that attitude impacted me. So can they hear your own stories of your own past mistakes and what you learned from them? So hearing that their parents make mistakes too, it can make them feel less alone and less ashamed. So this is so important. So once they understand that mistakes are a part of life, guide them to analyze their errors calmly. So help them to break down what happened step by step. So for example, what happened in this math exam? Why did you drop from 90 to 53? So what happened? So help them analyze their errors calmly, and by so doing, they're gonna understand what to do next. So help them break down what happened step by step, identify what they could change, and come up with a plan for the future. So for example, for the case of my daughter, we came up with a plan. She was doing really bad in algebra. She was doing really bad. I cannot remember the other areas, but we wrote them down, and we had her teacher take her through that. And by so doing, her grades have been improving. Right now, she is in her 70s, almost now going to 80s, and finally to back where she was at. So maybe they could spend a few extra minutes double checking homework or ask for help when they need it. So help them come up with that plan by going through what went wrong in a calm approach. So remind them that failure is not final, and each mistake is a stepping stone to success. Make sure you tell them that. So the confidence that comes from learning how to recover from mistakes will serve them in very many areas of their lives in the near future. So this is going to make them resilient and optimistic even in very tough times in their future endeavors. So make sure you do this as a parent, because it's gonna help them a great deal about learning from their own mistakes and how to use their mistakes to boost their self-confidence. So I hope you've learned a thing or two from this part 4 of this video series on how to teach your children to learn from mistakes and how to use these mistakes as opportunities to grow and not as moments to feel bad about themselves. When your children is not really doing well, sit down with them in a calm approach and analyze what went wrong and come up with a future plan. Remember to also share your own stories on how you failed and how it impacted you, because by so doing, they are not gonna feel ashamed about their own failures, and they're gonna embrace their own failures and use them as stepping stones towards success.